I love how this app gives you a countdown 3, 2, 1 when you're going live, but there's nobody there yet. So I'm coming up with different ways to fill the space and time. I might do sock puppets. We'll see. I don't know. Maybe I could read an excerpt from a book until somebody goes live with me here. But welcome. Oh, okay. We got. Hey, Michelle. Oh, Mish. Mish True. You're the first one in. Hey, Kendra. Hey, Rach. Hey, Deed. Asinine. I remember that name. Uh, oh, wait. Did somebody call me that? No, no, I remember it. I remember the name. Lady, you're saying hello to everybody from Texas. Hey, Riaka Ray, aka oh my god, aka Re. Gotcha, Ray. Oh my god. Hey, Wildfire. Welcome, guys. Welcome to Building Connections. So basically doing a podcast here, right? So I'm just tossing this up in the air. I'm just letting you guys know I'm probably going to be doing a podcast soon. I think I have a lot to talk about. So and it'll probably be the same name. I'll try to come up with a different one, but hey, buddy, I hope you guys are having a great weekend. I can't believe it's been a whole week already since we talked last time. It's like it flew by. I literally remember, like I remember it, like which I don't normally remember things like that. But anyway, good to see you too, Marie. Today I celebrated my oldest daughter's birthday, so she was over tonight with my family, and that was cool. So her birthday was earlier, but everybody's too busy. We have to wait till the weekends. When they were younger, we could do it whenever we wanted to, right? Because we were the parents and we say, we're doing it now and we did it. But now I have to ask for permission, like when we can do it, because they're all older. So it's kind of cool. She's 33 now. Yeah. Oh, my second one's the younger one, Lisa. She's the one in school. And she's not much younger. She's her second attempt at a career and she's doing phenomenal. So I'm happy about that. Yes, guys, my kids are older. Yes, I'm back in the groove, DJ. I'm back in the groove. Sunday nights at 9 p.m. But like I said, I'm probably going to start morphing this into a podcast. This way I could talk about particular subjects that I want to talk about. And you guys could actually go listen to it or watch it or whatever. But either way. Yeah, Samantha just wrote, I love that you all get together still for their adult birthdays. Yeah. You know what? It's also an excuse for the whole family to get together. So, when it's somebody's birthday, it's like, and I do it really strategically. Um, I don't like dragged out things. It's like 3, 4 hours somewhere, that's good enough, right? You go, you eat, you have the birthday, you have the cake, and then everybody talks a little while, and then you go home. And then you don't mind doing that. But when it gets dragged out for an entire day, that's when it starts to get a little much, right? So as long as you keep it, you know, quick and fast, people will want to do it more often. So a little note there for you to remember. Oh, thanks, Becca. Um, yes, Letty. Am I saying it right? Lettier, Lettier life. My God, I cannot say that one. Letty Eve, Lettery. Oh, forget it. You know what I'm trying to say. I agree with you. Gabrielle, I remember your son loves golf. Yeah, yeah, mini golf. Yeah, we didn't get to do that this year. It was the first year we didn't do it, but he was cool with it. It was just raining. It's not fun to play mini golf in the rain, but so I hope everybody had a great week. I can't believe it's Sunday already. You know what? And it's surprisingly there's another week coming up. I don't know what happened, but it's crazy. They just come up. It's like bills. I don't ask for them to send me them, but they do anyway. It's crazy. Yeah, this is our I think our one day is not rain today. I think it's supposed to rain tomorrow and it's supposed to rain like all week on and off. So, hey Amazon, good to see you. Hey, Ruth Joe. I recognize that name too. Kathy. Uh, oh, I'm sorry to hear about your best friend. My best friend passed away 1 week from today. I'm sorry to hear that. Sandy, hello from Fort Worth. Cool. Uh, you're upstate and it rained all day? Okay, well, I'm downstate. I'm on Long Island, so it wasn't too bad. We got lucky. Maryland, greatly enjoyed the Zoom. Glad that 10th seat was oh, you got the 10th one, huh? Okay, cool. Well, you're just segue. I love it. So, guys, I do have a Zoom group up for August. It's August 27th. It's on a Thursday night. So, 8 to 11, which is a lie because it's always runs longer than that. But 8 to 11, 10-person Zoom group. Everybody, I will stay on there until I read everybody. So, and if I always tell people, if I've read you already and you got to go, just cut out. You don't have to be like, "Hey, everybody, uh, I'm leaving." It's okay. You just cut out, and then whoever's left, just keep going until I read everybody. Just go to the link in my bio, Easton. Sometimes I know they have to make the names all together, but my brain cannot separate the words. It's hysterical. But if you're interested in the Zoom group, just go to the link in my bio. Go to the Stan Store link. Just click on that. My private readings are up there. I do have availability for August and September and October, I think, for readings. And I do have the Zoom group up there, and I do have my live events up there for September. And if you're on the East Coast, I will be on Long Island in Melville on the 15th. I am going to be in New Jersey, Meadowlands on the 16th. I will be in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania on the 17th and Baltimore, Maryland on the 18th. Okay, so I'm done. I got 4 in a row there. Those are the first 4 that I'm doing in, I don't know, 12 years, 13, 14 years. I'm not sure. Hey, Kevin. Let's see. Lori's just feeding her dogs, so she's listening right now. Lori, feed them well. Beth made it. Good to see you, Beth. Oh, hey, Easton, you saw me in Syracuse? When was the last time I was in Syracuse? Do you know? Syracuse used to be a pretty big group too. I just haven't done it in a while. Yeah, Syracuse has to be a while back. I haven't gone there in a long time. Well, I haven't gone anywhere in a long time. Um, I've just been more, working on my privates, which I'm very grateful for because for anybody out there that is a medium, the only way to get to get better at your craft is to do private readings. It's great to do groups. I know it's wonderful to be in front of people and get your stuff out there, but if you really want to hone your craft, try to do as many privates as possible. I found that to be my greatest teacher when I came to this work. Do, do, do. So what I'd like to do is what I normally do. Jonathan, I'm curious, what do you get out of this the most? Like, what drives you to do this? That's a great question, DJ. I'm going to read that again. So DJ just wrote, Jonathan, curious, what do you get out of this the most? Like, what drives you to do this? Um, I got to be honest. When I first started doing this, I never thought I'd be doing this. Let's just put that out there. I wasn't looking for this. I wasn't pulled to doing mediumship. It was not something that I felt, I always felt I was supposed to be doing something different than I was doing. That I've always felt, but I didn't know what it was. And um, you guys know that my, you know, mentor was John Edward. He's the person that got me into the work or got me to see the work in a certain way that got me to where I am today to look at it the way I'd see it. So I'm one of those people that you could say never really knew that they were supposed to do this. I knew there was always something there. I always felt a little different, but I couldn't pinpoint it. I didn't know what it was. So I would say the thing that gives me the most satisfaction is getting the job done. I have to say that's the most important thing. When you get on the phone with somebody who's a little bit skeptical or a little bit like, not sure or a little bit fear driven about what's going to happen, the first thing I like to do to settle people down. I even do it on the lives, right? I'm very grounded on how I come across with the work. I don't make it woo woo. I don't make it wow. I make it real. This is something that everybody should be okay with. And we're not. We're not taught that. So I like to make people comfortable first, and then I want to read them. And I want to hopefully bring through who they want to hear from. And I know I'm not going to change that person's life in the moment. Although some people say that. They like, you changed my I did not change anybody's life. All I did was give you an option to see things differently. That's it. You get the credit for changing your own life. But having that moment when somebody goes from maybe not believing to believing, I think that is the greatest gift I could possibly ask for. It really is. Oh, thanks. Thanks, Mish. Uh, oh, you're welcome, DJ. Yeah, I would love to say like, like, oh, my guides told me years ago that, I didn't even know I had a guide back then. It's like had no clue. Learned a lot. I learned a lot in 20 years. And I have to say, like, the approach, I think, is the better one, to kind of almost fight this all the way through. Like, my guide's making me feel like, you should start doing groups." I don't wanna do groups. Like, that's a lot of work, Like, that's my attitude. They must be like, "What is wrong with you?" So, I think if as long as you keep it real and stay human in what you're doing and recognize that you are no different than anybody else on some level, nobody's better than anybody else when it comes to being a human, right? I know there's people that are better at bouncing a basketball than I am, and I know there's people that are better at, swinging a hammer than I am, and I know those people that are better at, a lot of things that I can't do, but I'd like to think I'm pretty good at this, and I work hard at it. So this is my thing right now, and that's how I look at it. But everybody's got their thing. Everybody's got their thing. And some people got multiple things, which is kind of cool too. All right, cool. So let's get into some stuff around the work. Anybody want to ask me anything around the work? And again, guys, these questions that you ask me sometimes are things that I write down later as subjects for like podcasts and stuff like that. So I will be like expanding more on some of the questions you're asking me. Like I might give the quick answer that I give right now. And I do post a lot of these. I don't know if you guys are keeping an eye on my, well, I haven't posted much on YouTube lately because I always do it in chunks. So I do a lot of posting on TikTok, and then I just take all of those posts and I just like put them on like one every other day on YouTube. So I'll be doing that real soon. Okay. Um, Kathy. Oh yes, podcast, please. Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to doing that. It's again something I never thought I'd be doing. So, but I do have a lot to talk about. And here's the cool part, guys. I'm old enough where I don't give a shit what anybody thinks. That's the best part. I'm not worried about my presence or my popularity. I'm really not. I build houses. I do fine there. If somebody doesn't like what I'm saying here, oh well. But I do want to help. I do want to help people to see things the right way. I shouldn't say the right way. I want people to see things clearly. That's what I want. I want you to go into anything regarding spiritual energy, metaphysics, clear, understanding that there's things out there that are bullshit and there's things out there that are real. And based on, like I said, doing this for the amount of years I've been doing it and the amount of readings I've done, I kind of got a good idea on what feels real to me and what feels like bullshit. So I'll be pointing that out. Wildfire. Yeah, REM readings. I came up with that name. Uh, Rujo. I'm sorry, Ruth Joe. That sucks. Yeah, it's kinda hard to find out when somebody's passed and you've known them for a number of years and nobody tells you. You know, it's like somebody passes and you have no idea, and you find out like a year later, oh, that person passed away. It's like that's hard. All right, so oh, okay. So Roxanne, do people who did bad things on Earth still come through? Or do they because they are ashamed? Ashamed would be a human feeling and emotion, which they don't have on the other side. Okay. So when we leave this world, we shed the human experience, meaning like we take the memories, we take the experience with us, the actual being of whatever lessons we learn being human, but the actual human part stays here. Okay. So when we go to the other side, they're not ashamed of anything. It's almost like they understand what they did, how they did it. They also understand the mechanics around it, the whys, what caused it, what brought it about. They can see now 3 or 4 levels deep into why they got to where they are. So, it's not shame that they have, it's understanding that they get, okay? And if somebody's been a bad person in life or they were not nice to people here, I do know that they have to kind of do a life review on the other side. Every medium will talk about this and kind of, but what's the point of not doing it, right? Let's look at it that way. You have to do a life review. What's the point of living a life? You pass, you go to the other side, and they're like, all right, well, we're now going to erase all that. And they're like, well, what did I do? You know, did I do anything wrong? Did I do anything right? You know, do I get a prize? You know, that's that would be the energy, right? So having a life review on the other side is very, very important. Okay. And it's to help your energy on the other side to recognize, hey, I need more work in this area, or I kind of screwed that up, or I made the wrong choices around this. And I don't think there's anybody that's living this life that didn't make mistakes. Nope, we've all made them. And as long as you're learning from them, guys, it's all good. It's when you make a mistake and then you repeat it, and then you repeat it again, and then you repeat it again. That's when it gets hard. That's when it gets hard. Learning the lesson means recognizing, having enough self awareness to realize what went wrong in that or what you were supposed to do differently. It's very easy to blame everybody else for our issues and problems. Ah, you know, if that guy didn't do this, I wouldn't be having that problem. Or this guy didn't do that. But in the reality of it, you have to understand what's your role in it. What role did you play in that decision making? Taking responsibility for where you're at. And it doesn't mean you're the one that did the wrong thing, but maybe you're the one that didn't do the right thing by you. And that's why you ended up where you are. So it's about taking responsibility, having enough self awareness to know what to shift and change so that the outcome can be different. The universe only puts things in our path that they know we can handle. It doesn't mean we're going to make the right choice, but they know we can handle it. It's pointless to put something in your path that is devastatingly like you're going to just fail. It's what's the point, right? So if anything does come up and it's a very difficult situation for you, know that they already know you can handle it. You just have to understand that you can as well. So have enough faith in the fact that if a difficult moment comes up, it's because it is something that you can get through. Okay. That's a good question. Um, DJ, has there ever been a situation that the energy is scattered during a group reading? The only time the energy is scattered is if I have a couple of people that are, let's just say, a little rough around the edges, but then I kind of tamp that out real fast. I know I'm going to be very honest when it comes to how I talk about the work. I know that everybody loves the whole, you know, kumbaya and love your partner and throwing flower petals everywhere. And this work's all about love and connection. But sometimes it isn't. Sometimes it's about getting through to somebody. And you can't always get through to somebody by being nice. Sometimes you have to be a little bit rough back. I did a reading for a gentleman about a month ago. He didn't really want a reading. His wife passed, who he claimed he loved very, very much, but for some reason was not even interested in talking to her. What he was interested in is getting information around his own beliefs around things, meaning he wanted to have a conversation. And I started to read him, and he's just like, well, now I don't know what that like, you know, when somebody you just know they're just brushing it off because they don't want to look into it and see what it is that it could mean for them. And I just flat out said to him, like, dude, are we gonna have a problem with this? He's like, what? I was like, you're giving me an issue we didn't even start the reading, and you're giving me an issue before we even start. I'm letting you know that I don't play that game. So if you're not interested in having it, like, shut it down instantly. His attitude shifted instantly. Sometimes you have to be that way. I know people don't like, they'll say like, "Oh, that medium's mean or whatever." It's not about them being mean. It's about making sure that you get the information that you need to get. And sometimes the universe will send, I should say all the time, they send you who they know you can handle. If somebody's really new at this, they're going to send the people that are easier to read. They just are, because it's about building up your confidence and knowing that you can read. When you've been doing it long enough where you shouldn't need that anymore, or the pat on the back, and it doesn't matter what people say in response, but you know what your information is and what needs to come through, then you can let that person know, like, hey, pay attention to what I'm saying to you. Like, I don't do this for no reason. I do this for a reason. And if I did 4 readings that day and they all went just fine, and I'm doing my 5th one and it's a complete debacle, something's telling me there that there's a reason, right? So it's about judging it. And then other times you just shut the reading down. So I could be like 3 minutes in, I'm like, "Yep, we're not doing this." And they're like, "What?" Like, "I'm not the right person for you." And they're like, "No, no, no." And I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." So it's like, you just shut it down. So you gotta have enough ego to do the work, but also don't let your ego get in the way of what other people think about what you're doing, because that could create a disaster of a reading along the way. If you can't read somebody, just say you can't read them. That simple. Hey, Amy. And again, I really appreciate the questioning. You guys have been getting really good with questions lately. When I first started going live on here, there were such basic questions. Now they're becoming a little more detailed. So I'm hoping like the answers are helping as well. And that's why we're getting into deeper stuff. But like I said, when I'm on YouTube, I like to go deep. I don't like just scratching the surface of the work. Ruth Joe, Jonathan is direct in his readings and he's spot on. Even if you don't want to get the message, a butt kicking works. Thanks, Ruth. Thanks for that one. You're welcome, Jay Gambles. Good. I'm glad you're learning, Sandy. Perfect. That's all I want. Listen, I always talk about mentoring and teaching. I'm not a teacher of somebody who wants to do the work, but I have no problem teaching people that want to make better connections for themselves. I'm not here for wannabes. I've said this over and over again. I'm not here for wannabes. I'm here for people to understand that their loved ones do exist on the other side and they are alive. You know, they're alive and you can connect with them different than you're used to doing, but you can make those connections with them. So the more we talk about it, the more we, you know, delve deeper into the concepts of metaphysics, the more I hope you're learning from it and know that you can make those connections on your own. It's hard. It's hard. I'm not going to say it's easy, but you can do it. Yeah, Cynthia, I'm going to do a reading tonight. I'm going to do a reading tonight on here. Cynthia wants to know if I do readings on YouTube. I do. It's a QA. It's in the comment section, but I'll do it. Oh, let's see. Hey, Kristen. Okay, let's see. Selena, do our spirit guides have free will to help us? Um, let's see. And remember, whenever I answer a question, it's going to be based on readings. It's going to be information based on information I've gotten in readings. It's never about, do I know the answer? I don't sometimes know the answer to things, and I'll just say like I don't know. I have no clue. But if I feel like I have an input around it, I will have input around it. I do believe that our guides have some will or free will in what their job is on the other side. We pick up and lose guides as we need them. It's why I don't stress so much about who your guides are or what their names are. I know a lot of people are like, "Can you tell me my guides' names?" I'm like, "I don't know." And I always joke around. I go, if I said it was Sam, you'd say, great, it's Sam from now on. And guess what? It would be because you now designated it as Sam. And that's the whole point of all of it. Like you can name them whatever you want. You can pick the names you want for them. And then you have to honor that name. If you see it somewhere, if it shows up or anything connected to that, or if you're having a reading and somebody says, who's Sam? Oh, well, that's a name I have for one of my guides. Well, that guess what? That counts. Okay. So yeah. But our guides do have, I think, it's not so much like free will because they are assigned to you for a reason, and their job is to help you to get to where you need to go. So they have kind of like their job, just like if they were if it was like the army, and you have a lieutenant in the army, and that lieutenant's job is to get his soldiers to where he's got to get them. He might want to do that differently, but command up above says, "Hey, listen, you got to get these soldiers to here, no matter what." And then that lieutenant has to make certain decisions, some that might be good for his men and some that might not be. But the ultimate goal is he's got to get them to that side of the river or that side of the front line, right? So they have their job, and then they have their will within that to help us get to where we need to go. And like I said, if some jobs aren't doing their job, I do believe they get replaced quite often, actually. Stella, Stellianati. Are you Italian? Stelliana. What makes you open up psychic gifts the fastest if meditation you don't find working? Well, it would have, you know what? That's a really good question because a lot of people like to meditate before they read or they like to open up to information. And every course you've ever looked at or anything that ever talks about this, getting having a better, it always includes meditation. So if you're somebody that can't meditate, and there's a lot of us out there that cannot do the standard meditation, just use whatever works for you. It's called meditation for a reason. It doesn't mean it has to be, you crossing your legs with your fingers pinched and humming. You know what I'm saying? Some people listen to music. Some people actually, clean the house. Some of my best meditations are when I'm actually doing physical labor. It's like when I'm doing mindless physical labor and my brain's going, I get a lot of information that way. Sometimes when I'm taking a shower, or if you're taking a shower, you can get downloads that way because you're in there for a reason, you're taking your shower and your brain's just going, but your body's working, it's physically working. A lot of people that have trouble meditating, so it's almost like body doubling for like people with like ADHD, but without body doubling, it's more like task doubling. So you're doing one thing with your body, and then your brain has freedom to think and get information. I hope that helped in some way. Yeah, Sarah, I listen to music and it really works. Music is great for a lot of people. Jake Gamble, some women go shopping. Yep. Men do too. That's funny. I need to meditate. Let me go spend money. Uh, okay, Kathy, what determines, okay, that's a good question. Where is it? Hold on. I don't want to lose it. Shoot. Did I lose it? Nope, there it is. What determines who comes through in a given reading? Do they come and go like the guides? So when I do a public demonstration of the work, I will always ask somebody, who would you like to connect with? And I'm going to put a post up on this because there's a reason I do that. Only in public. When I'm in private readings, I don't ask who you want to connect with at all because we have 45 minutes to 75 minutes to get as many people as we possibly can. But in a setting like this, it's a very limited amount of time. So I don't want to waste time with you waiting for who wants to come through for you as opposed to who actually is coming through for you. So I will always ask, who would you like to connect with? My mom, my dad, my sister. And then I will do my best to bring that person through, backing it up with hopefully enough factual information to know that it's that person coming through. Is there a guarantee that that's going to happen? Not even a little bit. It's more like me being nice and saying, all right, hey, listen, here's who I have in front of me. It would really be cool if, the mom could come through right now and validate that her daughter, that she's coming through for her daughter. And then I'll get the grandfather, so there's really no control over it. Um, but I could have one person come through in a reading, I could have 10, literally 10. It depends on how well we're interpreting information, which would be my job, and how well you're understanding the interpretation. That's the other thing. Sometimes we can get stuck on something for 10 minutes and then you go, "Oh, geez, I can't believe I, forgot, blah, blah, blah." So it's really about how well you know your family, how well you know your information. It's multi-generational so that, anybody that you have information around has the ability of coming through because you know something about them. If you don't know anything about somebody, how are they going to come through other than a name? That's about it. But I don't even know like the names of my great grandparents. Like I don't know their names. I wish I did. I should know them because I should have wrote it down, but I didn't. I just recently wrote down the birthdays and death dates to my grandparents. I've been doing this work for 20 years and I never thought of it. Like because people say to me, "What's that date for me?" I don't know. And then I found out it's my grandmother's birthday. I was like, "Ah, shit, I should know that. I should have that written down." So again, if you're going to have a reading by somebody, get as many dates down as possible, get as much information on your family as you possibly can. It's not that it would have shown up beforehand, but because you know it, it is something that can come through for you. Okay? Like a lot of times I'm reading somebody and something will come up about somebody and they'll say like, "Oh yeah, that's my friend." But I haven't seen them in 5 years. And I'll go like, "All right, but did anything just recently happen around that?" And they're like, "Well, yeah, I just got an email from them." I'm like, "That's why they're bringing it up. It's a current event. It's something that happened recently around the person. It's something that you could say, yeah, that makes sense. It's validating that it's them or they're talking about that person for you." So that's why they'll do that. So the more you know, the better chances of having a really successful reading. Good night, Wildfire. Hope you feel better. Kathy, when you read me, you got the people I really wanted, then went all the way back to my great great grandfather, which was pretty amazing. You know what? It is amazing. And I always say when you stop thinking that this is amazing, you shouldn't be doing it. I do know this is a job. I take it, I kind of, treat it that way too. It's a job. It's just a job. I wasn't born here to read. I was born here to, learn my own lessons. But reading happens to be the thing I do. And I don't find this to be any different or any more special than any other job. I mean, I'm in awe of people that are great attorneys or in awe of people that are amazing accountants or people that are, other things that they do in life. I'm in awe of that. Um, I'm not an accountant. I suck at it. So when somebody that can whip stuff together and they, figure out how to save you money, and I'm like, how did you do that? Like, I'm in awe of that. But for some reason around this work, it has like a special, like woo feeling around it for people. And I don't feel that way about it. This is no different than any other job. And that's the way it needs to be looked at. So anybody that does this work is not any better or special than you. Anybody that does this work has their own lessons to learn. And a lot of people that do this work are not learning their lessons. That's that's where I have the issue. I knew it was gonna come up eventually, but that's where I have the issue, you know? If you don't walk the walk, you cannot talk the talk. That just does not work here. That's gonna blow up on those people eventually. They don't realize it yet, but it will blow up on them. Because if all you do is talk and you don't do the work, then you're never gonna do the work because your talking has now outshined your work. And that puts you in a very bad position because when you go to do it, it's not gonna look like what you're talking about. And that's what keeps people from doing the work. So if you're new at this and you're watching this, or you've been doing this a little while and watching this, don't blow up stuff to make it look better on a live or I'm sorry, on a post or anything like that, because then it's gonna stop you from wanting to do it because you're afraid of what's gonna look like or how it's gonna come across or how come they talk like this but they read like that. I've watched so many people on these apps that um, post about the work and they sound so mature and so well versed in how they're saying blah 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 blah. And then if I watch them read on something, it's almost like they're 5 years old. They're like, well, I think it's kind of like, well, maybe you think it could be like, where did all that like professionalism go? So the problem with social media is it has given too many people the ability to BS their way through without actually backing up their work. And that's my issue with it. If you go on TikTok, I don't have a lot of posts on there, but a good 15, I think it's higher now. It might be like 18% of my posts are readings I actually did on TikTok. And then you go to other people's pages that supposedly do the work, and they have no readings up there. Nothing. Zero. Zilch. All they have is information, philosophy. That's it. So I'm letting you know, don't trust those people when it comes to doing a reading. If somebody's talking and you like pull to them like, wow, they sound like they know what they're talking about. Go through their go through their platform. If they don't have readings up there, keep scrolling. Okay? Keep scrolling. Uh Ruth Joe, I don't do TikTok. I know a lot of people don't. Yes, Letty. They do take advantage of people who are grieving. But that, you know what? Let's put that in perspective too. That's in any business in any field. You're going to have people that swindle, scam. It's any business. This is no different. It just hurts more because I feel like when people are anything or involved with anything connected to metaphysics, it's almost like trust it. It's almost like, oh, it's metaphysics, it's spiritual. Let me open up this. Let me drop my walls. No, 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 no. Keep those walls up. Make sure that person has shown that they can do what they're doing. Make sure that they're coming from the right place. Don't drop your walls just because it's spiritual. Yes, Ruth. Ruth said, Jonathan, how do you know if you have completed a karmic lesson? Is it when the patterns don't continue? 100%. That lesson is going to show up every day. It's whether you decide that you've learned it or not. If that lesson shows up and you do the same thing every day and you're not learning what you need to learn, it's going to constantly repeat itself. Once you've learned the lesson and you know what not to do, you're going to stay away from that. You're going to go in a different direction. So, and I have a whole, analogy I use for this, but I'm not going to put it out right now. But just know that every day those lessons show up. They don't go away. It's not like school. It's not like you learn something in math and then the next year you don't have to repeat it, or history. Let's say history. I'm taking American history this year. Well, next year nobody's going to quiz you on American history. You might be taking European history, something completely different. But in life lessons, they show up every single day. Showing the universe and your guides that you've learned the lesson is about you going like, nope, learn that, not going there again, and pushing it away. That's when you can show you've learned the lesson. So technically, it doesn't affect you because it's not shifting or altering anything you're doing, but it does show up every day. It's waiting for you to make a mistake or an error. That's what it's waiting for. Stelly, if you went to a psychic medium, what are red flags to you, like curses, evil spirits, etc.? Um, yeah, that's all in there. Curses, evil spirits, all that kind of stuff. Big red flags. No such thing. No such thing at all. That's just another way for somebody to scam money out of you. For $80, you can buy this candle and I can, send it to you. Oh, great. Like scam, 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 scam. Um, Also, when somebody's reading you, like I said, factual information is very important. I think that is the key to a reading. It doesn't get a lot of the wow that people should give it, to be honest. It's more about how it makes them feel. Some people go for readings because they want to feel better, and the medium will know that. If you're somebody that gets extremely emotional as soon as something happens in a reading, they know they've got you. They do. And they can deny it, but it's not true. They know they've got you and they will use that emotion. Now, if somebody's doing the work for the right reasons, they might stop that in the moment. They might say to you, hypothetically, myself, hey, I know this is affecting you in a very negative way or a positive way. I know it's making you emotional, but I need you to stay with me right now. We need to get through this. Okay. 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 Cry later. Think about what's coming through for you now. And that's how do you handle stuff like that. I don't, I don't, you don't need to make somebody upset. That's emotional manipulation. Not okay. Healing. What do you think about developing mediums doing private readings low cost? Definitely letting the sitter know ahead. 100%. You're saying all the right things. 100%. The problem is they don't do that. Most of them don't. That's the problem. Now, if somebody was like, for example, on a social media platform, if somebody wrote up there, "Hey," if part of their description was, developing medium, whatever, I'm all for that. It's when somebody plays a role of being a certain way in mediumship and then they don't deliver. That's my problem. Because that makes it much more difficult for everybody else that's in the field because that is a scammer on some level. They could be coming from the right place. They could be saying they're doing this for the right reasons, all of that. But if they're not being true to who they are in the reading, meaning their ability, then that's a scammer. Call it, dress it up however you want to dress it. It's a scammer. Um, hey, John. Yeah, I have no issues with developing mediums. Because think about it, social media did not exist, you know, was it 20 years ago, 25 years ago? I don't know when it started, but it didn't exist. The only way to do readings was to actually, you know, get yourself out there and do like either house parties or, stuff like that. That was the only way to get yourself out there. People would find you through word of mouth or, in that way. But on social media, I mean, anybody overnight could be a medium. You just get on here and write medium in your name, and then you're doing mediumship. But unfortunately, we'll hear stuff like cards, or we'll hear, cards in the background, or cards. As soon as I see tarot cards, I'm like, I'm done. I'm out because that's not mediumship. They call it that. They'll say they're medium, but they're not. And that's the issue. Look out for like dowsing rods, yes or no questions or answers, things like that. Anybody that gives you a form to fill out before you do a reading regarding the person you want to connect with, really bad. That's obvious. That's bad. Um, Stuff like that. Okay. I would even encourage, if you're a skeptical person, give a fake name. Like, just change your name, give it a fake name. Pay in a way where it can't be, through some other way, PayPal or whatever. I don't know how you can make payments, but if you're really skeptical, don't use real information when you book the reading because a medium's not going to care. They're not going to care if it's real or not. Uh, Catherine, am I late? No, Catherine, you made it just in time, even though I started at 9. It's 9:43. Whatever. Amanda, when I had a private reading from you back in 2024, you said that I had nothing to learn in this lifetime. That in 2025 August through to 2026 August, that it was going to be a hard year for me. Was it? Now I have to wait for the answer, Amanda, and the tension mounts. Yeah, it was definitely okay. I remember hard year doesn't mean bad year. It just means a hard year. It's a rough year. I probably talked to you about something around like a tidal wave, if because that's my symbol for that. Like I feel like if it's going to be a tough year coming up, you got to ride the wave, not get tumbled over by it, right? So that would be. There's always a way. Listen, any information you get in a reading is not negative information. It's information. It's a tool. It's something that you can use to either help shift the energy around you. That's what it's for. I always tell people, never be afraid of a psychic reading. Never be afraid of it. It's designed to help if it's done the right way. It's designed to help, never hurt. And if you're interested in having a psychic reading, I do those all the time. So just go to the Stan Store link in my bio. I'm sure there's plenty of dates there. You can either book a psychic reading or a mediumship reading. So I have availability in August and some in September and October. I know I have availability. So Ruth Joe, I must have had a tsunami. Yeah, I hear you. Dad's good, Catherine. They were just here tonight for my daughter's birthday. So one night, I don't know. I got to get him to do this. One night, I want him to go live with me. I got to get him to go live with me. Annabelle, if you send the money anonymously to a medium, how would your family know it's you? I hope you're kidding right now. I'm not making fun of you, but I hope you're kidding. It's through energy, not names. It's not like so when you're in the presence of the medium, it's your energy that pulls them in. Your family's with you. They come with you. It doesn't matter what your name is. You can call yourself Rumpelstiltskin. It's not going to matter. Your energy is your energy, and that's where your family's connected to. So when a medium's around you, they're going to pull in those people, and they're going to get the names connected to those people around you, hopefully. So it doesn't matter what name you give the medium. Okay, it doesn't matter at all. Don't think human. Think all knowing. Think spiritual. Think energy. Don't think human. That's like when somebody comes through and they'll be talking about the sitter who I'm reading's friend. And the first thing out of the mouth of the sitter is, well, my dad didn't know them. I'm like, are you serious right now? Like, your dad didn't know? Do you think your dad's not seeing what's happening right now? He's not around and watching and seeing things? Don't you think your dad knows who your best friend is? Yeah, Annabelle, just change the name if you want to. It's not going to affect the reading. I promise. It's not going to affect anything around it. It's just a name. And here's the cool part. What if you in the past had used an alias name for anything? Like say something around work or school, but nobody would really know what that alias name was. But it's a name you've used. Like, oh, when I buy this or I buy things, or I use this alias name. Nobody knows it. Now you're going for a reading. You used your real name. And all of a sudden the medium says, oh, who's Jen? And that's your alias. That counts. That's like whoever's way of coming through going like, we know what you do. We know the name you use. So it works both ways. Okay. That's a good question though. All right, good. Let's do one more. And I hope this is helping a little bit tonight. I appreciate you guys being here. Like I said, I like to do Q&A as much as possible to get the information out and to help educate people in the best way possible so that they can go have a reading and have a positive experience. And I don't care who does the reading. Um, okay, good. I'm glad it helped. All right, you know what? Let's do a quick reading. I feel like we need to do a reading. So, all right, taking my glasses off for a second. For me, if you're on here new, here's how I like to do this, especially it's a comment section, okay? So it's a little more difficult than having somebody in front of you. But it doesn't change the information, it doesn't change the reading. It's just slower. Now, what I do feel like I deal with a lot is people going into panic mode. So as soon as I pick somebody, you have to type your answers, right? So it's like, you're trying to type frivolously and then there's people going like waiting and then like, you feel like people are like, wait, don't worry about what other people are doing. If you're the person I'm reading, take your time. Sorry, I had a burp. I didn't want that to go on the mic. Take your time, think about what's coming through for you, and then answer. Okay, or respond to the information that's coming through. Um, when I'm reading somebody, I don't care what other people are writing. I don't care what they're saying. I am going to ask that if I am reading somebody that everybody else that's watching, don't type if you can help it. Because if you don't type, then that person who's being read, their information comes up faster for me. Okay, and it does come in quick. That's the hard part. Sometimes when I'm doing a reading for somebody, if you watch me do one live, the information comes through quick and fast. It's like you have to get to what the next thing is. And we can't do that here. We have to like stop for a second, get the information, the answer. Now, I could throw 4 or 5 things at you and then wait for the answer, but I don't like doing that. I don't like that either. That reminds me of spirit led, and I don't want to do that. All right. So we are going to get information, hopefully get it validated, and we'll keep things moving. The goal here is to make the link and the connection. When I do a private reading for somebody, this is the first part of what I do in a private reading. It's about knowing who's coming through and knowing we have them and we're not just talking about them. All right. Once I have that information and I feel very confident that we have the person that's coming through, I can break the reading down into a lot of different ways, trusting that I know I have that person coming through and trusting what they're saying. Okay. Because a lot of times they'll send me people that are dealing with certain issues in life or certain things that are going on, and it's touchy subjects. And I'm not going to get into those touchy subjects unless I absolutely know I have the person that's coming through. So the way they're going to do that are through things like names. They're going to give me names, either their name or who's with them or who's connected to you. Just validate where the name goes. Maybe they'll give me something else around that name. If it's a friend of yours that's still here, just say that. Hey, that's my friend, because I'm going to ask who's coming through to give me something else around that friend. I like to double down on information. I'm not just going to take the name and go like, oh, they're saying hi to them. Give me something else around the person. Okay. Not you, them. Dates are big for me. They give me numbers around the calendar. Just know that it's their way of, again, backing up maybe information we talked about or something else that you can make a reference to. Usually it's a birthday and anniversary in some way. It could be a death date, but a lot of times they'll tell me what it is before I give the number. All right. If I give you the number, as long as you know what it represents, it's their way of letting us know that it makes sense for you. Health issues and incidents around passing, great way of coming through. If they give me things around the person that passed from a health reason, why would that be? Because it is designed to trigger you. Okay. You know how your family's passed. You know how your friends have passed. You know how people have passed that are connected to you. They're going to use that as a way of coming through. So if they give me a health condition around a particular, level of person, and you're like, yeah, I know that. That's my so and so. That's all you have to say. Like, oh, that could be this, or and if it makes sense, I'm going to ask, okay, if you are the person that they're referencing, give me something else. It's always about adding on information, not being okay with the one thing that comes through, but to push the limits, to get more, to know that that person actually is coming through and making a link. If something is not making sense for you, that's okay. I'm fine with that. Just promise me you're going to write it down. Okay. A lot of times, if something doesn't make sense for you at all, I'll ask them to actually back me up by giving me something else. It might be a date, it might be a name, it might be what somebody did for a living, but it's something to make you go like, yeah, I have that. That lets me know that that is somewhere. The thing before that is somewhere for you, and you'll figure it out. Okay. Um, Current events are very popular in these readings, especially on the lives. So if they give me anything around you that's happening in the moment or just happened or something you just talked about or had the conversation with somebody and you're validating it, please know that is their way of saying, I'm with you. I saw that. I love you. And I will be with you for the rest of your life on this planet. That's what current events are for. They don't leave us. They're with us always. So I don't care how stupid it is, how little it is. I'm not going to say to you, hey, you brushed your teeth today, because that's lame. I'm not going to say you put your shoes on, because that's obvious. Everybody does that. So when they give me current events, it's got to be something a little bit outside the box. Okay. Not the typical normal stuff. Something where you can go like, yeah, I just actually had that conversation yesterday, or I just dealt with that, or whatever that is. Okay. But remember, current events are for a reason. And their role in this is to let you know that they're with us and they're seeing things. Okay. All right, cool. All right, guys, you know how I do this on the live. So just write down who you want to connect with: dad, mom, sister, brother, grandfather. I don't care who it is. I'm going to pick somebody randomly. I cannot see right now. So just keep writing it. And like I said, I only do this on lives. I will not do this in a private. There's no reason to. But here, it's about time. So if I can make it the connection for you, great. But stay open to who can come through. If you want to connect with mom and I have dad, please acknowledge him. Okay. Because I can't control who does come through. I can only ask nicely. All right, cool. All right, I'm opening up. I'm looking. Okay, I got mom. Christine, the first person I saw. Christine VL3VH, mom. So I'm just gonna write Christine down because I'll even forget your name and mom. All right, I just need everybody else to stop typing for a second. I do need Christine to write back in capital letters yes, signifying that you understand that I'm going to be. She wrote here. I need yes, Christine. It's just my thing. I'm a little OCD with that. Christine wrote here again. There we go. Yes. All right, cool. Christine, just stay really, really open. Everybody else, stop typing if you can help it. I'm going to see if I can make a connection for you with your mom. But stay open, okay? Let me see what I can do first. Hold on. And Christine, when you type back, if you can do it in capital letters, that would be great, okay? Um, this is a common thing for me, Christine. The first thing, do I have a mom? Shoot, I have an older male first. Christine, I have an older male first. Okay, hold on. Christine, who would be Bill for you? Bill or William? If I want to talk like a Bill or William on the other side, would that make sense for you? I just want to validate this person first. So everybody else stop typing if you can help it. I'm just doing a reading for Christine. She wants to connect with her mom. Um, but unfortunately, I feel like I have a male first, but I just want to validate them. I think they're going to be a lead in for mom, but I don't know yet. But they want me to talk about a Bill or William connected to you past. Yes, boyfriend, dad. Oh, boyfriend, dad, brother. So all three of them are Bills. Is that what you're saying? I'm sorry. I don't understand that. Boyfriend, dad, brother. Boyfriend's dad's brother? Boyfriend's dad's brother. That's what you're talking about. Okay. William is dad's uncle. That's it. All right. So, and boyfriend's uncle. I appreciate you breaking that down. Again, don't feel like you have to rush. I don't need you to put all in one sentence. If it sounds better, just break it down. We'll get to where we need to go. Okay. There's no rush here. And past, correct? I feel like the one that when we talk about is past. Yes. Okay. That's all I need. Perfect. So I feel like I have the Bill or William first telling me past, connected to you. They want me to talk about the three sisters. Where would be the three sisters around you, Christine? Or it doesn't have to be your three sisters or you're one of three, but put me where the three are. He wants to talk about the three sisters. So it's like the family that has three sisters. My mom's sisters. Okay. So mom has the three, or mom's one of the three sisters, or mom has the three sisters. Three of them. Perfect. Okay. And see how this works? It's like he's showed up. I knew he wasn't going to be the one that was going to talk the whole time, but he's letting me know, hey, I'm here first. I feel like he's going to pull mom in for you. They're also showing me a, and Christine, did anybody have a Bichon? I'm seeing a Bichon. And if it's not a Bichon, it could be a Maltese, but it's definitely a small little white puffball as far as I'm concerned. But to me, first, it would be like a Bichon. And dogs roam free for me. So mom ran over the dog. Oh, okay. Well, um, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry, I shouldn't be laughing. Um, so that dog's on the other side, I'm assuming, with mom. And Christine, I don't normally laugh at stuff like that. So I'm gonna say, did your mom have a really good sense of humor? Because if she knows how I am, um, if she knows how I am, that's the way she would do it just like that. But could we say mom had a good sense of humor? And if not, you please tell me no, mom was miserable. Yes, okay. She's making me laugh. She's also telling me to bring up the 21st of a month having a meaning. So she showed me the number 21 around the calendar. Dry sense of humor, that's okay. It's just and the way she just did that was like or the way she got you to say that just made me laugh. Um, dark sense of humor, yes, exactly. She showed me 21 also. So I know the 21st of a month, like a birthday or an anniversary on the 21st, but she's using that as a way of coming through as well. And she wants me to also wait, I need you to validate the 21st. And it just has to have meaning. It doesn't have to be connected to mom. And I would also take if somebody's literally 21 years old right now. Okay. Yeah, you're like me. All right. So it could be your grandma. You're not sure. That's fair. Just write down the 21st of a month. And she's also telling me to talk about um, it's your grandma's birthday. Okay. So that would be her way of saying she's got a grandmother with her. And where would be Ellen around you, Christine? Ellen or Eileen? It's like an EL female. Mom's highlighting the EL name. I would take Helen also, because sometimes I don't hear the H, but I definitely hear the ELs. So she's showing me like an Ellen or Eileen or Elizabeth, but she's highlighting the EL name. Also feels like connected to her as well. My mom's sister-in-law, my mom's brother's wife. Okay, so we got a couple of them. Okay, she's just showing me that name connected to you. And one of them is like around the ELs. This is where I like to take it to another depth. She's telling me around one of them with the EL. they're either in healthcare or directly connected to somebody in healthcare, like their husband's a doctor or they're the nurse or they work in the hospital. She showed me like around the EL, one of them directly connected to healthcare. And it's only to validate I have your mom. That's what it's for. It's not really about them or the fact that they're in healthcare, but they're showing me like around the EL, female, healthcare. Yes, children, daughter, nurses, and sister pharmacist. Perfect. Okay. So it just lets me know I definitely have your mom. Okay. And mm, she wants me to talk about somebody currently realizing they have an issue around thyroid. So she's not putting it in the past. She's putting it around current. And she's telling me that right now, like somebody recently, it doesn't have to be yesterday, but it has feels very recently, somebody finding out they have an issue around thyroid. Or there was a discussion around someone's thyroid. I feel like we just talked about the thyroid, somebody's issue around thyroid. I know a lot of people have thyroid issues, but this feels something very current around thyroid, making me feel like I was there watching it when it happened or when they discussed or talked about it. Healthcare, we are all in majority of healthcare. Good, perfect. Recent issue around thyroid. It's somebody who's living, not somebody who's passed. I will find out that might be Mary, the other sister of the nurse and pharmacist. Okay, try not to say a name if you can help it. Just be like, that's the sister of so and so. But that's okay that you said it. It's not an issue. And she's telling me to reference somebody as being called Junior. So who's Junior around you? It, you know what? We're typing. So in case it's not Junior, then somebody's called by their initials. I have a particular symbol for that. It's two dots, and when I see two dots, that means like the name Junior. Okay, LOL. That is my mom, dad, brother. Okay, good. It's just mom's way of is bringing up. She's thinking for like reference Junior or somebody named Junior. Um, and would they also have a German Shepherd with them? Because I don't miss that dog. This feels like a German Shepherd or a Husky as well, past connected to the family. It does not feel like it feels like a little ways back, but they're making me feel like you would know the dog. And just because we're typing, the only other dog I could put in that category would be a um, Shepherd Husky Collie. It would be a collie. If it's not a collie, it feels like shepherd though. Past. Yes, that could be my brother's dog had a German Shepherd. Okay, perfect. They just show me like dogs past. Mom's got that dog with her as well. And where would be the four kids around, or four total around you? Mom's tell me talk about the four. You took care of that German Shepherd. Okay, well I guess that dog's coming through to say thank you. Because that's what usually happens. And mom's also talking about the four total kids. Nope, four total pregnancies. Sorry, she just corrected me. Four total pregnancies. So that feels like three children, one miscarriage, or three children, one terminated pregnancy, but four total. Take your time, Christine. No rush. Oh my God, I need to find out. Okay. I thought she showed me like four kids and then she like took one away. Now, my interpretation of that automatically is the feeling would be like, well, three kids, one didn't make it. That's what it would be feeling like for me. And it doesn't mean it's got to be mom, but it's connected to the family. Like somebody having three kids, but four total pregnancies. And is there a Jake connected to you or Jack? She showed me JA with a cuss sound in it, like Jake or Jack, Jacob. I think that is my uncle's son from my dad's side. Okay. If let's see, military. If that's it, mom's also telling me you have a connection to the 13th of a month. Okay, too much information. That's okay. As long as you know the name, like Jake, Jacob, Jack, they show me JA, but with a cuss sound in it. It's to validate that mom's coming through. And she told me the 13th of a month to like on top of that, like something around the 13th has a meaning for you around a birthday. And if you're watching this right now, I'm just doing a reading for Christine. Um, that's the right answer, Christine. Got it. We'll write that down. Okay, cool. Like I said, it might not make sense in the moment, but to show me 13. And she's also telling me that you had a recent talk or discussion about clearing trees or clearing. Yep, 13th. Remember that day. Something about clearing trees or clearing like a scrub, like somebody wanting to make their yard bigger or opening it up a little bit more. She's making me feel like that was a recent. I don't feel like it was done, but it was discussed or talked about. Now, again, that could be connected to the same people. It could be around you, but sometimes these things go together. So, like the 13th of a month might go with this as well, connect to that same family. But they're talking about, yes, clearing of my home, mom's home where we grew up. Okay. So she's letting me know she's around for that conversation. She is making me feel that she had, okay. So she's not talking about what she passed from, but she is telling me that she had other issues that we thought would be the passing or cause the passing, but something else did. So the feeling would be is, and if it's not her, it is a mom energy. Show me having different issues, having issues before they're passing and passing from something else. Like if somebody had cancer, hypothetically, and they said, "Oh my God, they have cancer. That's where they're going to pass from," and instead they pass from a heart attack. That's what it feels like. I'm not saying it's a heart attack. What I'm saying is like the passing is different than what we thought would cause the passing. So there's a feeling of like ongoing issues or, a chronic issue or problem. Oh, that's going to be, that's going to be their demise. And yet something else came around and like, and it swooped them up. And your mom's also talking about somebody quitting smoking cold turkey, like being proud of quitting smoking cold turkey, like somebody who smoked a lot and then just said one day, I'm not doing it anymore. Lupus to sepsis. Well, lupus would be ongoing, and I don't know enough about lupus to know, like, is sepsis, like, a normal thing that would happen if you have lupus? Because if that's a normal thing, then it doesn't really fit what I'm feeling. The feeling would be like having lupus and then passing from another issue. My Uncle Mike smoked and cold turkey. Okay, so that's the backup, okay, so we're getting backed up on what we're talking about here. So are you saying mom's the one that had the lupus and then passed from sepsis? Yes, mom, lupus and sepsis. Alright. Now, one thing I know about lupus is that's around for quite some time. So that does make sense. She's showing me like having something for like chronic for a really long time and then passing from something different. I know lupus does attack organs. I don't know if it was like kidney or liver. I'm not sure what it attacks. I know it attacks an organ. So I could take the sepsis because that's quick and fast. Um, Dementia fits in there too because feeling like having issues and problems before this. I could take this. I just want her to back it up with something. Hold on. Do you have a girl she's telling me you have a girlfriend, Laura or Lori, that you might have talked to recently? To back this up, there's a feeling of you having a friend or a coworker, somebody like Laura, Lori, that you just had a conversation with or just talked to. I definitely want to put them on your level, like Laura, Lori, L female, living on your level. Yes, Laura is my relative cousin. Have not talked to her. Okay, hold on. Then you know what? Um, it's your cousin. It puts you on your level. I'm just breaking this down for people who want to know how mediums do this. Okay, so to show me like again, Laura, Lori on your level, feeling like having a recent conversation. If you didn't, Laura is could be ex sitter in law, and I have not talked to her either. Okay, so you haven't talked to either one of them. So I want you to stay really open around a Laura or Lori, either one of them, either contacting you soon or for some reason they come up in a conversation. Like you might not have talked to Laura, but did anybody talk to you about Laura, or did Laura come up in a conversation recently? Because that's what it feels like. Something current coming up around the Laura or Lori, and they again it feels like a friend or somebody on your level. Cousin works for me. Sister-in-law works for me as well. And they're waving to the Leo. She's waving to the Leo, whose birthday's end of July, beginning of August. Like now, somebody's birthday's right now. She's telling me to say happy birthday. But that is also to back up the fact that I could take the Laura. Dun, dun. Just connecting Christine with her mom. We'll need to find out with July birthday from my uncle. Okay, it doesn't have to be July. It's got to be end of July, beginning of August. So July like 22nd to August 21st. That would be Leo. And they're waving to Leo, which means for me, Leo is living around you. So connected to either you around the family, living Leo. July 22nd, I think, to August 21st, roughly. And she's making me feel like it's in your circle, like somebody connected to you. Okay. Christine wrote, I will find out. Okay, good. And if you do find out, just post it on here. Uh, the July August birthday. Yeah. Would mom have Francis with her? Francis or Frank? I could take the FR. Francis or Frank. Feeling like also one of her colleague nurses. Okay. Just and pass, correct, Christine? Okay, mom a doctor and yes, past nurse. Okay, perfect. Just know that's her way of coming through to say hello to you. Okay. Again, very straightforward, kind of like breaking into the reading. This is how I would start a private off. Okay. Um, I remember her while growing up. Okay, good. And it, again, letting me know, like, I'm not just giving you the name. She's letting me know, hey, I got them with me. So it's kind of letting us know that that person has passed and with her, as long as you can validate that, it is her way of coming through to say hello for you. Okay. I hope this helped a little bit. And I don't go into the mom's fine, mom's okay. I'm hoping at this point, if you watch me enough, you know they're fine. We get stuck with all the crap, right? So I'm hoping you understand that. She is telling me for you to hold on, as she's backing out. You're changing your diet. I don't know what this is, but she's telling me as she's pulling back, she's like, "Oh, and, she's changing her diet." So, almost like an awakening you've had around food. I don't know how else to describe this. It's like an awakening feeling of knowing, like, this is not working for me anymore. I need to change my food. I need to change my diet. It's not about, it doesn't feel like it's about losing weight. It's more about feeling better. Does that make sense? And you said her soul circle or her, so soul family of hers is up there. Yes. Exactly. Lost 10 pounds as to not cholesterol and blood pressure. Perfect. So it's like you're changing how you're doing things. It's not so much about weight, it's about feeling better. And she's giving me a thumbs up around it. Okay. So please know that mom's around and seeing things. I hope this helped, Christine. All right, cool. I appreciate you being here. All right. I'm going to disconnect from Christine. I'm going to open up the floor again for a second. If anybody wants to ask me anything, guys, remember, if you're just watching this, I know you're probably laying in bed, but I do have a Zoom group coming up in August, August 27th. It is Christine, getting the root of the problem medical. Thank you. You're welcome. Again, I hope this helped a little bit. I do have a Zoom group coming up on the 27th, guys. It's on a Thursday night, 8 o'clock to 11 o'clock Eastern time. If you're interested in that, go get a seat. I know there was 10 in there when I looked before the thing tonight. They do kind of, sell out by the time I get to when I do. I haven't had one yet that didn't, but there's always a first. I have no problem with that. If there's 6 people in the group, I'm going to do 6 people. If it's 8, I'll do 8, but it is for 10. Just stay really open around it. But we do have a lot of fun. If anybody here was in my last Zoom group, I think we went like 4 hours, 4.5 hours. I can't remember how long it was. But it is a 3-hour event. Okay. Straight reading. I make sure everybody gets a reading in the group. We do have a lot of fun and a lot of connections. So I hope to see you there as well. And again, my live groups are coming up in September. I have one on the 15th of September, 16th, 17th, and 18th. Uh, again, Long Island, New Jersey, uh, Pennsylvania, and Maryland. Okay. All right, guys. You guys have an amazing week. I will see you again next weekend. And again, like I said, I'm gonna start pushing toward doing a podcast. I think it's time. Yep. I think it's time. Yeah, Christine, it's a 3-hour Zoom event. When I'm done, I can't walk. It's the funniest thing. But I sit in this chair and I don't move for 3 something hours. I don't budge. I just sit here. And when I'm done, I go to get up and I'm like, "Ugh." Like, I can't get my legs straight. So, yeah, it goes on for quite some time. All right. Hope to see some of you there. If not, I'll see you again on the live. All right. Everybody have a great night and I'll talk to you soon. Take care.